It was actually just a very calm afternoon. The weather was starting to become very nice in Erbil, just sitting outside on my balcony with my housemate, having a beer and chatting away. And then all of a sudden, the flat basically sort of trembles, and we hear this massive, really loud bang. In sort of my very hopeful way, I said, "Ooh, you know, fireworks," and my flatmate knew right away that that wasn't the case. We went up onto our balcony, looked out, and there was this plume of black smoke just coming up. And we realized that it was obviously something extremely bad. We didn't realize the extent until we actually reached the point where it had happened, and we saw sort of the remains and the charred cars. That was very much a turning point, I think, in Erbil, particularly for the expat community, mostly because it targeted an area that's very popular with the expat community. When I arrived here 2 years ago, Erbil was, it couldn't have been safer in terms of just walking around at night. I would have happily walked around Erbil, Ainkawa or Erbil at night when I wouldn't have in cities like London. Maybe that's naive of me to do, but it felt safe. Come April, car bomb happens. We realized that what's happening on the outskirts of Erbil is much closer to us than we thought, because these are essentially ISIS cells that have infiltrated or were already here. So things start changing. We sort of limit ourselves to very particular places to which we can go to or we can't go to. What times can we go out? Should we be walking around, at night? And that definitely, for me, that shifted the way I led my life a lot. Mostly because for my job, I am often out of the city. At times in sort of more conflict areas, at times on front lines. So coming back to Erbil, coming back to a safe, comfortable place was always really nice. And it didn't feel like that anymore. It felt like that comfort and that security wasn't there. And I think I'm not the only one who feels this way. It will take time to sort of for the not just the expat community, but I think Ainkawa in general to sort of fall back into the routine that it used to have before the car bomb.